Alright, what is up? This is Slowplays, and I'm here today for some Dragon Ball Z Kakarot gameplay footage analysis. Pretty much a video where it's going to be around 10 things that you potentially might have missed in the gameplay, and just some like frequently asked questions that I'm going to try my best to answer from what was shown. I have no like full complete information on anything. This is just what my observation is from the actual gameplay and things that were, pretty much stated completely in the actual gameplay. So for the first bit of information here, we have missions, what appears to be two different types of missions. Obviously, from what you saw, the red glow and the red colored missions with the red exclamation mark most likely are supposed to be story missions, the main missions where you can progress on and go through the story mode in different arcs, such as, fighting Raditz and such that you did see in the actual gameplay. And now we have the blue ones, which seem to be side quests, similar to Breath of the Wild, which a lot of this gameplay seems to have inspiration from, in my opinion, or just, that type of game, that kind of genre of video game, that action RPG elements and everything. It's really, really reminiscent of Breath of the Wild, in my opinion. For the blue side quests, the blue colored ones, it seems that after, taking on these quests, it might be character specific, which leads me to believe that we're most likely going to be able to play as other characters. Now, I don't know how often you're able to switch out with these characters, or if it's going to be something that is just kind of forced upon you, like you don't have a choice, you're going to have to use Piccolo or something like that. But I'm assuming, and even from some of the interviewers, they couldn't, obviously confirm anything yet, but the way that they described it, they were almost hinting at the fact that, you would potentially be playing as other characters throughout the game, maybe for specific quests or whatever. But, from the gameplay, we just saw Goku. I'm not confirming anything. It's just, from my analysis. So, the blue side quests, the blue colored ones, are definitely character specific, because it does say, as Goku, head out to defeat the rampaging robot, or Goku, head out and do this. So that is pretty cool to know. And moving on here, we have the area map. So the area map is a bit of a cluster. There's a lot of stuff to break down in here. I'm going to list everything that is on this map. We have the current location, which is your little arrow. That's where you currently are. The main story, the sub-story, which I stated before. So the red is confirmed right here to be the main story quest, and then sub-story, which is most likely, just like side quests and everything. Then we have a guide, which I guess that's there for, just like helping you out or directing you towards specific areas that maybe you don't know. Then we have the grocer, which I would assume is for, like items and stuff. Same thing with trader and a cook and everything. Those seem to all be all have to do with like items and everything that you can actually use to maybe make certain things or build certain things with some of the items that you actually collect throughout the game. Then we have the training grounds, which most likely I'm assuming is going to be for increasing your experience. You go down over there and maybe you're trying to grind out and try to get EXP to level up your characters on your team. Then we have cooking again, which is all for probably, the items like the campfire and everything, which I'll get into a little bit later. Then we have R&D, which usually stands for research and development. I don't know if exactly that's what it stands for, but it's showing like a wrench and like some gears and stuff, so that would make the most sense to me. Moving on, we have a fruit tree. Again, assuming that those are, places where you can actually gather more supplies and items to cook certain things. Then we have the mineral deposit, which I'll get into a little bit later with the ores and the crystals that you can actually collect, similar again to Breath of the Wild. I don't even know if they're like weapons that you can make in this game. I would doubt it. It's not, this is Dragon Ball. It's not like, Zelda where you need weapons, but who knows? Who knows what they're going to do here. Then we have a dinosaur habitat, which I would assume is probably where you could probably beat these like certain boss dinosaurs, maybe get items. Then we have fishing, which is where, you can actually fish for things, and I'll break down that in a little bit as well with fishing and hunting. But, that's pretty much the basic stuff right there. And then obviously, the marker and everything. So moving on here, we do have what happens after you complete the sub-stories and everything. After completing certain, sub-stories and fighting certain enemies and completing these, you actually will get experience points as well as potential, items and things. Like right here, it shows like a Vita drink L, which I assume stands for large. So story rewards and everything are pretty cool to have after, helping out a certain character. And, it does actually tell you a specific level that they recommend that you're at. So a lot of this really does remind me of Breath of the Wild and, of course, Dragon Ball Fusion. Dragon Ball Fusion's had sub-story quests and everything as well, which is pretty cool that this seems to be a bit of an influence. But, here we go, moving on. We have these z-orbs, which I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what these are for. I would assume, again, maybe they're used to exchange for as like a currency that you can have or something. I don't even know what exactly these could be. There seem to be a bunch of different colors, such as blue, red. You have rainbow ones, green ones. Maybe specific colors help you with stuff. Similar to Dragon Ball Fusion's game again, there were these orbs that you could collect that were good for specific, I guess, like, fusions and things. So maybe there's some kind of like other aspect to that. Again, there's still not a lot of information that has been revealed yet. But, that's just kind of what I wanted to observe, and maybe there was a detail that you missed, or maybe you guys know what it could be. Let me know down in the comment section. So, moving on here, we have the fishing spots and everything. So, it says that they can be found all over the world, and the fish that reside in each area will differ by location and everything. And when you catch the fish, you can either eat it right away or cook it over a campfire and eat it to increase your stats. So obviously eating it raw is possible, but it's not going to be as good as doing it cooked, because once you cook it, you'll probably get more benefits from it in terms of your stats, health, all that good stuff. So that's pretty cool. You can also cook it with other ingredients, such as, I guess, like fruit and vegetables. You saw in the gameplay you could collect, carrots and, other vegetables and stuff, combine them together, make a stew or something, and give you more benefits, similar to, again, Breath of the Wild. So, yeah, that's pretty cool that there are different locations. Seems that there are like some beaches, there's like a river, a waterfall, and all that. So that's going to be cool seeing, these other areas that you can explore and everything. So, moving on here, we have the hunting aspect, similar to the fishing aspect, where you just go and you dash in and actually just completely destroy animals and stuff. Like right here, this was like a deer or something that Goku just completely crashes in, and you can catch it and get some beast meat, as it's called in this game. And then moving on, we have the campfire aspect, which is a very important detail and something that I guess a lot of people will have to make use of. If you're low on health, this is an area where you can go and sit and recover HP. In some of the little images there, I can see Goku sitting with Kid Gohan, little Kid Gohan. So it seems he might be a character that you can have as support or a playable character on your team, which is pretty cool. And you can cook fish here and certain animals that you hunted down, and combine them together and everything, and make some crazy stat boosting effects, which is awesome. There are different locations and all that for cooking and using the campfire. So that's awesome to know that you could actually just sit there, recover your health, and everything's a-okay at that point. So moving on here, in certain, I guess, caves and like areas with like mineral deposits and everything, you can obtain silver ore, iron ore, crystals, like different colors and stuff. Again, that's where you could go to the mineral deposit area and, I guess, deposit those and maybe exchange them for certain currency, more money. If you want to get more Zenny, maybe that's what it's for. Or maybe these can be used to build something. Who knows? So there are definitely a lot of possibilities that we're trying to figure out in the game right now, just from the overall gameplay that was shown off here. So now moving on, we have the main menu, and this right here reveals a lot. It definitely reveals a lot. We can see, your Zenny. You can see some kind of gold currency. I guess that's like a special like token or something, maybe, again, for a certain type of exchange rate or currency. Then we have the different types of these like z-orb things. It looks like there is a blue one, a red one, a green one, a rainbow one, and then we have this one, which it's very hard to see, but it's like a silver and like a goldish kind of color. It just really looks kind of weird because of the different colors, but that seems to be something else with those specific orbs that you can collect in the air that were, usually formed in the position of like a, like a ring or a circle or whatever. But for the main menu list, we have items, party, characters, story, community, Dragon Balls, and system. I'm assuming that community is maybe like an online kind of aspect, something that has to do with online. Don't exactly know. Don't quote me on it. Don't, confirm anything yet. This is just what I'm observing. The Dragon Balls obviously seem to be something that, you know, you will be able to collect as items, and then whenever you get them all, you can summon and wish for, like, you know, 3 million Zenny or something. I don't know. But that just seems to be a possibility there. System is probably just, you know, your system settings if you need to change, like, you know, the volume, or I guess maybe the language or subtitles or any of that, you know, the general stuff. Then we have the story here, which I guess you can check your sub-quests as well as your main story quest, what you've already completed, what you need to complete. Moving on, we have the characters, which again is a huge aspect. The fact that they list the characters in the party, you know, I don't know. Whenever I see characters and party, I feel like they should be in the same thing. I don't know if characters are just like bios. Maybe you click on that and you can see like whatever characters you met, such as like Android 8, or maybe you meet Launch or something, or Tien or Piccolo. You can actually see like bios on them, and maybe just like, you know, get a little bit of information. Similar again to Dragon Ball Fusions, which actually has little bios on your character list or whatever. And then the party seems to be most likely the characters that you have on your team that you can play as, see their stats, all that good stuff. And then obviously moving on to the items section, looks like we have what is shown to be 5 different little slots here. We have the recovery type items, such as the Vita drink, which can recover a ton of HP. It shows you location and a little description, which is kind of cool. Then we have the cooking materials, such as the vegetables like carrots and onions, the lean giant fish, the beast meat, and all that. And you can sell all this stuff as well for a little bit of Zenny. Obviously, you know, in any of these games, you never want to sell that kind of stuff because you're not really getting much Zenny. You're going to benefit more from the, you know, effects of it, like, you know, the status boost. You can get melee attack, defenses, you know, any of that stuff. So that's pretty cool as well. Moving on, we have the materials, okay? So the materials, such as this thing called Holy Crab, which I guess is a small bag of this or whatever. So it's used for fishing as well. And you also can, you know, check out your iron ore and all of the, I guess, minerals that you collected as well. And then these other two weren't actually shown off at all. You wouldn't know exactly what these are called, but it shows a gift. It's showing a gift. I would assume those are probably items that you can, I guess, maybe give to other characters or something. And then we also have an exclamation mark, which maybe those are like main story quest items that you can't really manipulate or use necessarily. They're just like collector things. I don't even know what they could be, you know. It seem to be stuff that you collect from like a story. So maybe it's like, you know, you beat Raditz and you get to collect a piece of the pod. I don't freaking know, you know. There's just nothing really confirmed on those yet. I don't want to, you know, delve into it too much and get something wrong, and, you know, somebody's gonna call me out on it and be like, oh, you were wrong, even though I'm not confirming anything in this video. But moving on here, we have the actual character list, and it seems to be I guess the characters that you will be able to use, at least on your team, not necessarily play as. In the interview, the actual interviewer asked if you would be able to play as, you know, Piccolo, like with your own controller, you know, be able to play as that. Obviously, you're seeing them on your team, you know, to use, but it's showing that he is a support, and it's showing support number 1. So it looks like all the other characters, potentially like Kid Gohan, Krillin, maybe Yamcha, Tien, all that stuff, maybe they're only as support, and you have to use Goku the entire time. You know, that's all I'm saying. Maybe. I don't know if you're able to switch him out and have Goku as a support if you want to, or, you know, what the situation is, because, you know, you saw that, like, one area, that one slot on the main menu where you could go into your party and potentially change things. So, not saying anything confirmed yet, but, yes, Piccolo seems to be a character that you can level up if he's on your team, and he will be, you know, support. Same thing with, you know, probably like Krillin and like Kid Gohan and stuff. So that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool that, you know, at least we know that there are more characters at least on a team in a way, and you're not just, you know, restricted to seeing just Goku the whole time. At least you have, you know, these backup characters that can help you throughout battles. So the last thing I want to talk about is a cool little feature called the Surge. Yes, the Surge ability, where it has Goku in that kind of like Kaioken animation stance. So it states, as you take damage or deal it out, your tension gauge will fill. When both your tension gauge and ki are full, hold Y or whatever button that you're using for the respective controller to activate the Surge effect. So while Surge is active, your stats are temporarily boosted, kind of like, you know, Limit Burst or whatever. you know, from like Xenoverse, which is pretty cool. And, you know, your super attacks and combos can be canceled into each other, you know, and the actions and everything. So that's pretty cool. It's just an ability to, you know, help you probably win the match, do more damage, more combos, and all that. So very awesome stuff. That's all from the exclusive gameplay provided by IGN and everything. And just my little breakdown of what I saw. Again, I'm not confirming anything 100%. This was just a reaction and sort of, I guess, like little detail video that potentially you guys might have missed throughout the actual like gameplay if you were focused on listening to just like the dialogue, and hopefully to break some of this stuff down. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, if there's anything that maybe I missed or something that you might know that I didn't state in the actual video, let me know down below. I would love to, you know your own opinions, and just speculation more than anything is really fun. So have a great day, my friends, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.